Today, tensions are high in the heart of Singapore. People are preparing for one of the few protests to be authorized in this small country. Access to the site is highly monitored.
Before you enter the park, please also prepare your NRIC, your digital SIM card NRIC that works as well. And also, please remember to check in using this safe entry. The QR code is here. Please check in. Thank you.
The queue is endless. Every bag is searched. The identity of every participant is recorded and sent to the police headquarters. Maximum security, and all for one simple gathering, gay pride.
We're going to gate 5. Oh, okay. All right. So irritating, oh, police everywhere.
Jolovan and Marcus are running one of the stands. They are activists campaigning for personal freedoms.
Okay, thank you, sir. Enjoy your show.
Okay. Thank you.
They are used to them enforcing draconian rules here. Processions are forbidden. Any protest must be stationary. The event is taking place at the Speaker's Corner, the only place in Singapore where political gatherings of more than 5 people are permitted. Though the country might appear to be a democracy, for Jolovan, it works like a dictatorship.
In Singapore, it's difficult to exercise your freedom. Freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, these are severely restricted. Speaker's Corner is very heavily surveilled. Yeah. As we were walking in, there was a lot of auxiliary police. I also saw some plainclothes policemen standing around, and there are barriers everywhere, and this park is just right next to the police station. And there are also surveillance cameras around the perimeter of the park. Unfortunately, that's how the Singapore state functions. And the impact of all this police on the organizers and the people participating is it instills some level of fear and psychological discomfort.
This is the philosophy of Singapore, a country that didn't exist until 60 years ago, and one which values law and order above all else. Singapore, a mini-state the size of New York, situated to the south of Malaysia. A single city of 5.5 million inhabitants, surrounded by a few nature reserves and artificial forests. The country tops every league table: highest quality of life, best education in the world, best health system, longest life expectancy. The population is divided primarily between people of Chinese and Malaysian heritage. But in order for the country to excel in international business, English has been imposed as the official language. Singapore is at the cutting edge of science and technology. Here, humans are being gradually replaced by machines. Robot waiters in hotels, restaurants, and hospitals.
The robots don't have moods, and they are happy serving. That's the good thing about robots.
The country prides itself on being the safest in the world. The crime rate is negligible, and if you leave your wallet and your phone on a restaurant table, no one will touch it.
J'ai mon cash, j'ai mes cartes. Je suis pas du tout surpris, hein. Je fais ça tous les jours pour réserver mes tables et j'ai jamais eu aucun problème.
But Singapore beats other records too, less desirable ones. Almost everything is forbidden here. The list of rules you must follow in daily life is endless.
Even in your own home, you are not allowed to walk around naked.
Personal freedoms are infringed. Corporal punishment and the death sentence are still enforced.
So when my brother says that I don't murder people, I don't kill people, I don't plan to kill people, no, why I was like...
And objectors often end up behind bars.
It's extremely dehumanizing, but this is exactly how the system in Singapore works.
We investigate Singapore, a city-state which claims to be the country of the future, but where progress takes precedence over freedom.
Singapore Airport, our delays. We expect to land in 10 past 4. Thank you for your patience.
After a 12-hour flight, we are about to land in Singapore, an island group wedged between Malaysia and Indonesia, home to 5.5 million inhabitants. As soon as you arrive, the scenery is dizzying. The airport cost more than $1.7 billion. There is a forest atrium with 3,000 trees and the largest indoor man-made waterfall ever created.
They like this waterfall because it's special, one of landmark in Singapore.
The country's specialty is technology, but most of the time, this technology is designed to maintain law and order. On leaving the airport, we come across a robot tasked with issuing fines to incorrectly parked cars. It works using artificial intelligence without the need for a human to operate it. When the alarm sounds, the driver has exactly 30 seconds to move their car. Otherwise, the robot records their number plate and sends the fine straight to their home address. During the global lockdown of spring 2020, a photo of a different Singaporean robot was seen around the world. This mechanical dog, which gives orders to passers-by, looks like something from a sci-fi film.
For your own safety and for those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart. Thank you.
Equipped with sensors capable of measuring the distance between two people, the dog is tasked with making sure that residents do not walk too close to each other. And soon, another machine will be crossing the streets of Singapore. A patrol robot, also guided entirely by artificial intelligence. It sees everything, recognizes passers-by, detects suspicious packages, and, should it be necessary, can even send out its own drone. In this country, everyone is under surveillance, every day and everywhere. And this constant monitoring begins in early childhood. We have come to meet Joey Yew.
Hello, friends. Good morning.
She has been the head teacher at Odyssey Nursery for 4 years. It's a private nursery with 150 children, and here, nothing gets past her.
So we do have CCTV outside at the main gates area, and in every classroom, we also do have a CCTV in the classroom itself. We can basically see everyone right here in action. You can see we have around 30 over cameras, ranging from outdoors to indoors.
1 camera for every 5 children. But that is not enough for the head teacher.
Take a picture. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a photo first. Just check in over here. So this is a system whereby when kids come in, so they do the first temperature scan to make sure they're all good and well, and then they will head on to the classroom. So apart from that, their photograph is also captured as a check-in or a check-out photo for parents. So parents will know that, you know, my child is in school, or if my child is sent by the caregiver, you know, they will know that, okay, my child is safe in school. Yeah.
The machine automatically recognizes the children's faces, even if they are wearing a mask.
Yeah. All right.
Inside, the little ones set to work. Here they study English and Mandarin, 2 of the country's official languages. And of course, they use robots. An efficient method, According to international rankings, Singapore's students are the best in the world. In the neighbouring classroom, students aged 5 and 6 are already having maths lessons. Their teacher is being filmed. This way, students can watch the class back at home and practice further. He must wear a GPS chip around his neck.
Okay, so wherever the teacher goes, even left and right, he will follow.
This is also a way of proving to the head teacher and the parents that the teacher's lessons are of a high standard.
Which number makes 8?
The monitoring is constant. Non-stop surveillance of the population that starts as a child and never ends. "5 a.m. in a public park. A dozen or so elderly people are practicing Tai Chi. Mrs. So, 79 years old, devotes herself to the martial art 3 times a week.
Started 30 years ago. It was a group of 40, but because of the COVID now, the older ones, they dare not come out. And there were some were 90 years old.
Plenty of other things have changed since the pandemic. The state is no longer satisfied with CCTV cameras. All methods of scrutinizing the public are acceptable. Mrs. So is going shopping at the market.
What is it?
Safe entry. Token.
To have access, she must scan the GPS chip that she wears around her neck all the time.
Our information is inside. Our identity is inside, and phone number. So if there's a person around here that's COVID, and then I visited here, they will call me to ask me to test myself. If it's negative, okay. If it's positive, you have to stay at home. Easier for the elderly, because some elderly don't have the phone.
This chip is called the Sing Pass. All Singaporeans have one, whether on their mobile phone or around their neck. Just like France, it was mandatory during the pandemic. But what makes the Sing Pass different from the French Health Pass is that it collects all your personal information: your identity card, passport, driving license, vaccine status, medical records, insurance details, and bank card. Government promotion of the chip is constant during TV ad breaks.
Even better.
Even faster.
Even safer.
Even easier.
The software works thanks to facial recognition. On the bright side, there is no longer any need to carry a wallet. On the downside, every resident is permanently traceable. The police have access to all the information they want. They can see where you are, your face shape, what you're buying, and if you're sick.
Safe or no?
Yes, it's very safe. Don't worry.
Mrs. So returns to her family home. There she finds her son, who has 2 children himself. Calvin was an executive at a large advertising agency. At 55, he has stopped working in order to dedicate himself to his family.
Spring onion. When you eat it, you know it's spring onion.
Stupid.
Dylan, his 19-year-old son, just finished the first of 2 years of mandatory military service. A star student, he has already launched his soilless plant startup. He sells his invention on the internet to buyers from all over the world. On top of that, he plays the guitar. His future is already mapped out.
Maybe study, maybe my blog becomes very successful and I don't have to study. But I might go to Finland and study psychology or business psychology. Something about understanding people, understanding behavior.
Upstairs, his younger sister, 16 years old, is studying for her computer coding class.
I think technology is a part of everyone's life. Old, young, everyone, like my grandmother, I just see her on Facebook, YouTube, watching these people cook things all day. And my dad too, he's addicted to Facebook, it's scary.
The dad, Calvin, despite his love of social media, is the only member of the family skeptical of the Singapore way of life. For him, security has superseded all else.
That's the role of technology. When it happens very quickly, right? And the cameras will go from cameras to smart cameras to drone cameras to observation everywhere. And your phone now being a way to track your movement. That's the way it is.
But do you think you have enough freedom here?
That's a deep question, right? If you're an animal in a cage, what is freedom? Right? If all you know is that, and I give you a bigger cage, that's freedom.
Cheers, okay. Cheers.
Calvin is nearly as old as his country, and since it gained independence from British rule in 1959, a lot has indeed changed. Singapore owes everything to the nation's father, Lee Kuan Yew. The country's first Prime Minister, he has been in power for 31 years. He has been transforming this mini-state, barren of natural resources, into an economic superpower, the capital of finance and high technology. But there is a price to pay, he insists. Discipline and compliance with the law. The state broadcaster often shows his old speeches with military music playing in the background.
Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine. I've spent a whole lifetime building this. And as long as I'm in charge, nobody's going to knock it down.
In his eyes, the country must move forward no matter what it takes, even if it means sacrificing personal freedoms. He silences the press and his opponents, imposing countless restrictions on his people. And although elections are held regularly, power always stays in the same hands. The party founded by Lee Kuan Yew has never lost control of government, and his own son has been Prime Minister since 2004. A sham democracy using authoritarian methods, and doing so with a smile.
Welcome to Singapore.
Bruce is a 55-year-old social media influencer. He has first-hand experience of the severity of this power. He has spent 24 years of his life in prison, mostly for small drug-related offenses and getting into fights.
Let's come on in. Welcome to my humble abode.
He lives in a small apartment, surrounded by plants and photos of his 5-year-old daughter and American film posters. His passion, as well as prison time, he has been subjected to a common punishment in Singapore, 12 strikes of the cane.
My knees will be strapped, shackled, all right? And then I'm bent over, my hands will be shackled this way, and I'm naked. In my time, they did the 2 steps, meaning from here, they say 1, 2, from here, yeah? So what they did was, to gain momentum, they swung the cane, okay? And then just like how you throw a discus or shot put, you do the spin, 1, 2, and then down 1, like that. So I remembered when the first stroke landed on my butt, all right? The pain was intense. But because it's blunt, I could take it. They will give you stroke 1 and then they'll wait 1 minute, which they're allowed to. You know that 1 minute is 1 minute of hell? You know how the apprehension was? The anticipation, oh my gosh. The 7th stroke landed on my thighs. The pain was so unbearable. my legs started spasming uncontrollably. You know, because I couldn't take it anymore. It was that painful.
After leaving prison, Bruce kept to the straight and narrow, intent on following the law. Despite his lengthy incarceration and the violence he has suffered, he insists that he loves his country and is convinced that its totalitarian system is perfect. Singapore has an infinite number of rules for daily life that you must know by heart, or you risk being severely punished.
Singapore, if you throw litter on the floor, it carries quite a hefty fine. You can be fined up to $500 for throwing and even spitting. No, you get fined big time, yeah? It says pet owners are required by law to leash your dog. If you don't leash, see, da-da-dang, you can get up to $5,000 for the first time, or a fine not exceeding $10,000 for the second time. That's no joke, that is no joke. Yeah. So Singapore, you don't play a fool. You don't play a fool.
Anything that could annoy your neighbor is prohibited. Smoking in the street is forbidden, except inside these yellow rectangles.
Plus electronic cigarettes, you get caught, the fine is $10,000. You cannot bring in, you're not allowed to smoke. Chewing gum is also not allowed in this country, yeah?
There are so many rules that seem completely absurd.
Can you see all those? So those are our HDB flats. I guess about 85% of Singaporeans live in public housing units. There are some rules that you have to strictly follow, yeah? So you can keep dogs inside HDB flats, but you cannot keep cats. It's against the law, yeah? And also, even in your own home, you are not allowed to walk around naked. If your neighbor sees you and they report you, it's fine up to $2,000 and jail up to 3 months. Yeah, that constitutes public nudity.
And if you commit a violation, it's impossible to avoid being tracked down.
You can see all the cameras up there? Cameras, 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 cameras. Everywhere cameras. And all of them so close.
90,000 cameras in total. To put that into perspective, there are 25 times more cameras than there are in Paris.
So, monsieur, you can see cameras down there. Yeah. You turn around, you can see all the cameras. How not to feel safe in a country where there's so many cameras? Yeah?
On the platforms, floor markings show passengers how to avoid stepping on each other's toes.
No using of the phone, ask you to keep quiet, no talking.
Our journey ends in a silent carriage where, obviously, no one would even dream of leaving graffiti on the walls or the windows. If they did, they wouldn't get a fine. They would be sentenced to time in prison and a beating. That evening, we meet up with Bruce in a nice part of the city. The country's newest business complex, where you can find luxury boutiques.
Gucci, Chanel, Alexander McQueen, Fendi, of course. Leo.
An indoor river like the one in Las Vegas. And every evening, a spectacular light show.
Most Singaporeans are law-abiding citizens. Yeah, I can tell you that we love our country. We love our country. Our government has been good to us, right? And I think it's only proper if our government has been good to us, we be good to our government also, right? We are one nation, one people, one Singapore.
With a population doing their bidding, the police don't need to be seen. They are almost invisible. On the street, there are very few uniformed policemen or blue lights. The only place where law enforcement can be seen is on the small screen. Singapore's police have their own YouTube channel where they post regularly. They stage imaginary crises. Here, for example, a terrorist threat that needs containing.
Team awaiting your command, sir. Engage.
But in reality, there has never been an attack on Singapore. The crime rate is one of the lowest in the world. 5 times fewer murders than in France relative to the population. A few years ago, the state broadcaster and the Singaporean police released an American-style reality television show following the agent's exploits.
Sending you the exact location now. Over.
Every month on Crime Watch, a real police inquiry is narrated and performed by actors.
Can I have a look at the CCTV footage?
Except that here, there aren't many impressive cases, so most are stories of petty crime. This is far from New York or Los Angeles. In this episode, for example, several men have beaten another man up after leaving a bar.
Okay guys, listen up. Bruises and swellings. The second assault was at Chang Bar.
The officer puts his whole team on the case. He places the prime suspect under surveillance.
Muhammad Asli bin Abdul Hamid? Yeah, why? Senior Investigation Officer Helmi. You're under arrest for writing.
Now it's time to arrest him. At the end of the program, the sentencing. It's extremely severe, which should discourage criminals.
Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Rauf was sentenced to 5 years, 6 months imprisonment and 9 strokes of the cane. Muhammad Hasdi bin Abdul Hamid.
And to finish, of course, a reminder to honest citizens of their duty.
If you witness anything suspicious or illegal, call the police hotline. All information will be kept strictly confidential.
Here, justice is uncompromising and brutal, and the sanctions are not just for criminals. Political opponents are in the firing line too. We meet up with Yolovan, the pro-democracy activist we met at the Gay Pride gathering, and his fellow campaigner Kristin. They won't speak to us in the street. It's too risky. We must wait until we are out of sight and out of earshot.
Let's go.
Singapore is a one-party authoritarian state, so we are not democratic at all. I mean, we have democratic structures, so we appear to be a democracy, but we are not democratic in substance. Right? So we have regular elections, we have a judiciary, we have unions, but they are all controlled, right?
They started to organize 5 years ago. They started an association with the aim of informing the population about misconduct within the system.
I'm doing all these things knowing that being charged in court are the consequences. Yeah, but I feel it is important to do it because we cannot continue to live in fear. We cannot normalize this kind of oppression.
In Singapore, any political maneuver against the government comes at a high cost. Yolovan and Kristin have brought us to the offices of their organization. In 2017, he and 6 other campaigners staged a demonstration on the metro. Between 2 stations, they blindfolded themselves, brandishing posters of several political objectors who were imprisoned and tortured without fair trial in 1987. They taped the A4 sheets to the windows. Then, before leaving the train, they removed the posters. Yolovan was taken to court as leader of the group.
I was charged and convicted for public order offences and for offences related to freedom of expression.
His sentence, 22 days in prison.
Are you watching the... Oh, this is a documentary. What you've seen in the video, this is exactly what it is like.
It is impossible for a foreign journalist to film in Singaporean prisons, but the penitentiary administration has done it themselves. This documentary, co-produced with the state broadcaster, praises the success of one of the world's toughest prison systems.
So the CCTV will capture everything inside the cell, including the toilet area as well. So if they go to the toilet to do their business, or if they were to take a shower, we can see everything. At night, the CCTVs that is inside the cell are equipped in a way that they can see in the dark.
The prisoners sleep on the floor on a simple woven mat.
So this is what the cell looks like. I was in this cell for 16 days on my own. So I didn't get to go out. I didn't have a chance to talk to other people. Yeah, so it was solitary confinement for 16 days.
The inmates are almost always locked inside, 23 hours a day in their cell, except weekends when leaving at all is forbidden. They don't have a television and are allowed a limited number of books. No physical contact is permitted. And they are not entitled to any personal possessions.
You got anything to declare, not, Kai? Nothing. Nothing to declare, huh?
As this cell search scene shows in the prison documentary.
Ni fruit, when?
Semalam, yesterday.
Yesterday one. You got 3. Which one is the oldest one?
The one.
Huh? It's not out, huh? Some of them do store quite a few to eat later in the night when they're hungry and all that. But they should only have 2. We cannot have them to keep it for too long because it could have stomach pain, could get them sick. So we have to remove this one because it's been a few days already. This one is just his own personal own drawings. So I'm also taking this one because it's an unauthorized material. There's no chalk, there's no official stamp on it. So I'll take it away. Why? Because it could lead to him writing messages across the housing unit or even across the institution. Okay.
Every month, the prisoners win 20 points if their behavior has been faultless. Once they reach 60 points, they're allowed to put a photo on their wall.
The prison is a very dehumanizing institution. It was designed to humiliate you and to strip you of your dignity. The whole setup, from the fact that you don't even get like a mattress to lie on, that there's very little natural light that comes into the cell, to the fact that they give you food through a little hole at the bottom of the door. Yeah, all these things are to remind you that you are not human anymore.
This doesn't seem to be a problem for the administration, as it shows these images set to jolly music.
So our breakfast usually consists of 4 pieces of bread. So they will pass it through our full ledge.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning. After this door will close.
Every time they organize a demonstration, no matter how small or what the cause, these activists are putting themselves in danger. Last April, Kristen and several others lit candles in front of a prison on the night that one of its inmates was due to be executed. As a result, She will soon be on trial for forbidden gathering. She risks being given a large fine, even jail time. Fighting to abolish the death penalty is this political group's main battle. We meet up with Kristen in a modest Singapore apartment. She is helping a family whose father has been sentenced to capital punishment.
This is my marriage with...
Oh, the wedding photo.
Wedding photo. On the 8th of March 1994. And this one I will marry with him.
How you all meet?
Oh, it's so long.
So long ago.
Singapore has around 60 prisoners on death row. The vast majority have only been convicted of drug-related offences. Even so, zero tolerance. That's what happened to 62-year-old Nazari. He was arrested with 35 grams of heroin in his possession. But the law is strict. Anyone carrying more than 500 grams of cannabis, 30 grams of cocaine, or 15 grams of heroin is automatically sentenced to death. Nazari has been in prison for 10 years. His sister has exhausted all his appeals. Her last hope was to request presidential pardon, the result of which she is still waiting for.
Up to his last day also, up to his death, we don't have body contact, which sometimes we have to kiss our brother, that kind of kiss our brother, that kind of thing. We are not allowed to. Why this thing happened?
We accompany Nazari's sister to the prison. She is allowed to visit him twice a month, but always with a pane of glass between them.
I will never give up hope. I said, I want you to know that my volunteer outside, the journalists outside, are doing something to abolish the hanging system. We are doing something, not that we do something. I want you to know that we're doing something to help you out, because I still believe in miracle.
We leave her a few streets away from the prison.
Yeah, your bag can leave here if you want.
It would be dangerous for her and for us to be caught off guard by a camera in front of the building. After a 2-year break during the COVID pandemic, executions have started up again this year in Singapore. Several men have been hanged for drug trafficking since January. According to procedure, the family is not informed until a week before the execution. Yet another terrifying regulation. Death row inmates, just before their execution, are allowed to change out of their prison uniform, put on some civilian clothing, and have their photograph taken. The photos of their forced smiles, taken hours before their death, are sent to their families. 2 days later, Kristen asks to see us again. Nazari's sister has received some bad news.
Recently, she was sent a letter saying that her appeal for her brother has been rejected. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried now, because that means that there is no legal process or anything that is stopping Nazari from getting executed. So, you know, the prison it's possible for them to schedule his execution at some point. Yeah, we just don't know when. Hi, sorry to disturb you so late. You just come back from work.
I just came back, I take my bath.
The letter is to the point, a few words without any explanation.
So usually families get letters that look like this. It's very short, to just say that, no, we are not going to give the pardon.
My daughter showed to me, that breaks me down.
Yeah.
All the appeal was turned down. That's where I break down and cry. I did not expect that this thing go to the gallows. I never expect. At least I could say that, okay, life sentence. So when my brother says that, I don't murder people, no, I don't kill people, I don't plan to kill people, no, why I was hanged. So what made me think happen, what made me feel very upset, the death row, you hang people alive, does it work? Does it any improvement? It doesn't. It affected the whole family, the death row.
After we finished filming, this woman's worst nightmare came true. Nazeri was hanged in prison on Friday, the 22nd of July at 6 in the morning. His wife and children were not allowed to see him. A few days later, they received the same photo that every family of an executed inmate receives. Nazeri, in civilian clothing, making the symbolic V for victory gesture, with a smile on his face. The government insists that the majority of the population is in support of the justice system. There is no way of checking, but Bruce, at least, is convinced of its effectiveness. These days, he is devoted to his country. Once a week, he organizes food deliveries to the most deprived areas of the country.
All of them for this block are rented units. So it's either a studio apartment or there's one room inside. It's all rented from the government. It's for the low-income bracket people living in Singapore. Yeah, so most of the people staying down here are the elderly and low-income, and a lot of them are alone, staying alone.
If he spends a lot of time helping people in need, it's because Bruce himself comes from an underprivileged background. He grew up in apartments like these, where residents live hidden behind gates.
Uncle, 請你食飯好啊，慢慢嚟，唔緊張。安怎講？幾包？一包就好啊。Hui, no, the bells most of the time don't work. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Hello, hello. 嚟，brother 食飯。安怎講？食飯啊。啊，我特別拜個半飯嘅咧。啊，好嘅，十菜飯。幾包？包啦，包啦。你叻咗啊？Okay, good. All right, okay, brother. All right. Okay. I know this dude from prison. Yeah, I know this dude from prison. Hello. Hello, 吃飯。
Bruce has a meeting with an old gentleman who lives alone in a small apartment and has asked to see him.
Sunny?
This is the other face of Singapore, those left behind by the economic boom.
He says he needs a water heater and a washing machine.
Bruce is going to enlist the help of his network of followers.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Bruce here, and this is Sunny with me. Well, Sunny is living alone. He has some medical issues. As you can see, he can't walk. So he's appealing for a washing machine, which he doesn't have, and a water heater unit. Any one of you who has a washing machine you want to sponsor or a water heater system, please reach out to me and I will connect the both of you together.
The very next day, he posts another photo. His followers have found a washing machine and a boiler in less than 24 hours. The story has a happy ending, but highlights one of the country's biggest problems, its aging population. Singapore has stopped having children. The fertility rate is one of the lowest in the world, yet another record. In 2050, half of Singaporeans will be over 65 years old. Soon, the country will not have a sufficient workforce. As a result, robots are stepping into formerly human roles all over the country. In the basement of this hospital, a large room is reserved for engineers.
Hello, everyone. I am Pepper.
There is a robot for every task in the hospital. They are all autonomous and work using artificial intelligence. This one, for example, can transport over 100 kilograms of equipment, move around by itself, and even use the lift. But the majority are reserved for the geriatric department.
Very well.
Another robot allows elderly patients to chat with their families via scheduled video calls.
And then what time the call needs to happen?
The nurse schedules the call, and then the machine heads to the patient's bedside, all on its own.
Hello, Papa.
Hello. Good day, everyone. We're going to be listening to a few sounds together.
Finally, there is this robot made in France that has been reprogrammed here. It stimulates the memory of Alzheimer's patients using evocative images and sounds.
Sounds like an alarm clock. It is an alarm clock.
It also gives fitness classes while playing gentle piano music in the background. According to our guide, there is nothing inhuman about this form of treatment. In a number of cases, a robot is equal to a nurse.
Such robots looks very cute, very friendly, and a lot of our patients actually like it very much. And it actually responds better than responding to our nurses. Elderly patients, they keep asking the questions. Have you eaten today? What have you eaten? If a robot is able to tell you and keep answering you the same questions without being tired of it, that will actually help in patient care.
And guess what? The health system here is the best in the world. That's why Singapore is seen as the country of the future. Every problem can be solved by technology. Recently, the government decided to reduce its dependency on food imports. The country is tiny, without space to grow crops or farm livestock, and consequently must import 90% of its food. To achieve this attempt at self-sufficiency, the same solution as usual: science. We are invited to a party, the likes of which you'd only find in Singapore. Final preparations are underway. Everything must shine, including the event's organizer, Felicia Poe.
We're doing our Good Meat immersive dining experience tonight for our guests. It's a small group dinner. You can see that there's an all-round screen, and it's going to be for 6 guests this evening. And it's going to be their first time trying our cell-cultured chicken.
Cellular chicken is an American invention that has been developed here. Singapore is the only country where it is allowed to be sold. The theory is this: starting with a single animal cell, the meat is created in vitro and cultivated in machines. So it's real meat with real flesh and real blood, but hasn't come from the body of an animal. No farming and no abattoir. The guests are arriving.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Good to see you again.
I know, how are you?
I'm good.
They are professionals from the restaurant and tourism industries, and Felicia's society is trying to convince them to serve this artificial meat to their customers.
For the first time in human history, we can now, from a single cell, create an unlimited amount of meat. And this is revolutionary because we can now eat this meat without killing a single animal, without destroying a single rainforest, and without using a single drop of antibiotic. So we excited to try this good meat.
I'm so much about it.
Now it's about making it look appetizing. A tall order for the chef in the kitchen.
It is a chicken. Just like a normal chicken, you just lightly season it. And you see by the looks at it, it looks exactly like the shredded chicken too. We make the chicken in here in Singapore. A chicken takes about 4 to 6 weeks to grow. We only take 2 weeks. Here you go. Try it.
Needless to say, the organizer of the party is delighted.
This is good. Just like chicken. Just like chicken. Very tasty.
Because it is chicken.
The meal ends with the smell of fake chicken.
Tastes amazing, right?
It's with solutions like this one that Singapore claims to remain a model country run perfectly. But some people, even those best integrated into society, would like to escape it. We spend our last day in the country with a 34-year-old Singaporean.
But you kept a lot of things here.
Juvena Huang is a model citizen who has followed the right path through to adulthood.
Okay, I managed to find my report book.
Okay, this is when I was 12 years old. So over here the note, the remarks, the teacher said that I'm a courteous and responsible pupil. So I'm obedient and well-behaved. So I'm a pretty good student. And for the final year exam in primary school, I actually came up top in class.
Having had a modest upbringing, she managed to get into one of the best schools.
I really had no social life at that time. So it was like either work, after work is school, and weekends will be to do my assignments. And then after 2.5 years, I managed to complete my studies, and I graduated with first-class honours in biomedical science.
But at 27, the young woman cracked, deciding to take a different path to the one laid out before her.
This is my scooter that I rode from Singapore to Czech Republic. So I started from Singapore on this. I loaded up everything I need, my clothes, my camping gears, everything, and then I left Singapore. I wasn't sure when I was about to return. It was really scary. But it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
In 2 years, she traveled through 25 countries across Asia and Europe. Her travels opened her eyes to other ways of life.
I think I feel more free when I'm overseas. I feel that we are kind of like in a cocoon. There's a lot of things we don't know. Yes, we are highly educated, but actually education doesn't mean that we know everything. I guess, you know, in Singapore, we are kind of sometimes slowly losing it. As we prosper, we are self-sufficient. We stop kind of like relying on other people. So that's why I want to live again. I mean, I appreciate everything that I have here, all the opportunities, but I just think that life is not about just being comfortable and just die, you know?
Leaving like the bird that escapes its gilded cage. These days, Juvena makes a living thanks to her community of followers on social media, enough to pay for her next trip. She plans to hit the road as soon as possible, to leave Singapore again, the country which strives for perfection, but sometimes leaves you wishing you could just escape it.